Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbirds have spoken like the first call. Pray for. I'm just going to put some light on. Not because I need to make myself look beautiful or nothing, just because I can't see a fucking thing. Know what I'm saying? Just give me 1 second. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's horrendous, Bartholomew. I like the name Bart, don't you? Bartholomew. That's such a cool name. I was in my old haunt yesterday. We all went to see Dear Izzy. I don't know if Izzy is watching this or she'll watch this later today. We met up on Portobello Road. My manor. Look at my eyes. Look at my eyes. And it was nostalgic. There was great nostalgia to be had. I'll tell you a little bit more about it, because we didn't do any vlogging because we wanted to have proper family time. It was absolutely lovely. So let's see who's here. Let's say good morning to everyone, shall we? Oh, look at that. Good God, so many. Let's do the first 10 that I can do. Jennifer Cando, sounds like fart. What does? Jane Gammons, Joanna Vesterinen, Joanna Vesterinen. Happy birthday. If Nadia was here, she'd sing, "You don't want to deal with my dulcet tones." Beverly Pickard, good morning from Louisiana. How is Louisiana? Teresa Thorne, Anita O'Reilly, Ann Collard, Kimberly Bunn, Josie Cozy, B, Nicola Randall, Nicola Saloki, Nanny Di. Me and Nanny Di have signed up to the virtual Sundance Film Festival. We were invited to watch 3 movies, which we're going to watch, scheduled in the evenings. Me and Nadia have got a few surprises up our sleeve this weekend too. For those of you who aren't members, it's the Sunday show this weekend. You may well have noticed there's been a paucity of vlogging. That's better, shoving them like that. It's almost like VR, except I look like Woody Allen. And without the vlogs, there's been a diminishing of content. But Jackie McGrade, welcome as a family guest. Just if you see the join button down there, and hit the thumbs up, guys. Let's hit the like buttons. Obviously, you know, there's a few people that don't like what we do. Yeah, that's the thumbs down. There's only a few, but let's hit the thumbs up, guys. What was I going to say? Yeah, so the Sunday show is going out as normal this weekend. We've got Teddy back. We've got the memes back. It was an odd one last weekend, wasn't it? Nonetheless impressive. Nanny Di, when did we see Nanny? Nanny Di was here earlier in the week. So we have shot bits and bobs of vlog, but I'm waiting for it to, like a good spot, build, and then when I puncture it with my edit lance, it will splurge everywhere. There you go, there's a pretty analogy for the morning. Go over to my Instagram and you can see what liquid refreshments I've been imbibing this morning, and what liquid refreshments I haven't been imbibing. So here's the thing. How is everyone this morning? I hope you're well, Mum. I hope you're looking forward to our Sundance film tonight, watching virtually from your... Nanny Di went out to the cinema. I think she saw about 18 films yesterday. I didn't even know there were 18 films out. I'm hopefully going to see American Pickle, starring Seth Rogen. Looks really kooky and cool and weird. Oh my God, can I just say, I'm stupidly excited because I've done a few little preview screenings with my short film. Oh, you are going to fall in love with Oscar. Oh, you're going to fall in love with Kush. Oh my God, if I say so myself, when you make something yourself, you get very nervy about whether the written script's going to carry over. But I have to say, very chuffed. Someone at the door. Wait, bear with me 1 second. Stay safe, have a good weekend, yeah? Take care. I'm coming. It's birthday presents for Kiki B. Look at my eyes. Let us take you on a journey. I don't know if friends from Chiswick are watching, but I've got a particular surprise for you next week. It's going to be so fun in one of our coffee mornings. Chi-Chi's back. So she'll be in Who Let the Dogs Out. Who Let the Dogs Out? That's in the Sunday show, by the way. Bloody hell, I'm gibbering away, aren't I? Right, Poo Poo Bum Bum RM's Jams. Please, Mark, say happy birthday to my son, Alfie. Sarah Jordan, happy birthday, Alfie. Just for you. Happy birthday, Alfie. How are your workouts, Mark? My workouts are mental. And if I say so myself, I've almost got to the end of, I think I said on my Instagram account, go over to Mark_Adderley. You'll see that I've set myself the challenge of doing a before and after photo. I was thinking of doing a before and after eating a trifle. But I didn't think that would be particularly nice. So here's the thing. So what was I talking about? So last night was so nice, guys. We'll get on to all the other stuff. Are you hot? Are you really hot? How hot are you? I'm so hot. I'm so hot and I'm a little bit hyperactive. It's so hot, and I thought, let's get your workout out early. GFH is coming, Karen R. Like I say, I'm building this material so that when we point the cannon and go, it's going to blow your brains out, man. It's very hot, isn't it? Very hot. Put your washing out in the sun. It's dry already. It's dry. We put that there just to remind you that even people off the telly have clothes horses. Batsy Owl, haven't seen your name before. I'll be painting later. I'm interpreting a friend's characters from his children's book as he has been giving me singing lessons. What a brilliant, brilliant thing to be doing. I love interpretative stuff. Last night, right, we went to Portobello Road. When I was a kid, can you see that pigeon over there? It's so cool. When I grew up in an area of London called, Ladbroke Grove, which is near Notting Hill, which is near Holland Park. Today, very posh area, but also an area of lots of housing association houses, lots of rentals, lots of flats in all these great big Georgian houses. My mum came to London when I was a kid, and her then boyfriend, because she hadn't come out as gay, they both rented a basement flat in just off Ladbroke Grove on Blenheim Crescent. Very, this wasn't it's not like we lived in a posh house or anything like that. It was a really damp little thing, but it was kind of cool. It was the 70s. And all of my friends lived in housing association flats, and we went to the local primary school, and then I went to the secondary school, Holland Park. So there were poshies in our area, and then there was us. And so we went back there. But when I was a boy, and I think my love of film came from this, Nanny Di, you all love Nanny Di. Nanny Di will know this if Nanny Di is watching. Nanny Di would come to the school and use the excuse that I had to go to the dentist to drag me out, right, and take me to the local electric cinema, right? And the electric cinema was this like hippie movie house. It's now like owned by Soho House. It's really, really posh. But back then it was like deck chairs and kind of bashed up chairs. They'd make hash cookies, like spliff cookies in the front of the show, run by hippies, everyone off their tits, watching art house. Anyway, so my mum would drag me out of school and take me there. And I remember about the age of 7 being dragged out to see a movie directed by Wim Wenders called The American Friend. Oh my God, I just sat there like this. It was like a scene from Cinema Paradiso. I was like that. Except I was probably like this, because I probably had one of the cookies on the way in. Anyway, so the long and the short of it is, we met up with Izzy last night at the Electric Diner, which is an American-style diner, which is attached to the side of the cinema. And as I went in, this was the entrance to the cinema, and all my childhood came back. It was so nice. It was so nice. It felt so sort of symbiotic, like it made sense, because there was Izzy, looking gorgeous, looking lovely, us all chatting and chin-wagging, and her looking forward to us meeting her boyfriend and all that kind of stuff. So it was really nice. So there you go. Thanks, Josie Cozy. I'd love to go to the cinema, but I'm too scared. Yeah, we didn't go in the cinema, we just sat in the diner, but everyone had masks on. And anyway, Portobello Market, Portobello Road, you probably know it from the movie Notting Hill. It was such a nice area. It's so informal. Nadia's at loose. Sound lovely, Mark. Thank you. You seem really happy today, Jacqueline. I think it's helped by the fact that I've had, quadruple espresso. I loved seeing Izzy as a fly. Did you hear that? So, I had the best mac and cheese last night as well. Oh, sorry, best mac and cheese. No, I didn't go in the cinema, but it was lovely. Anyway, so if you find yourself ever in West London and just pottering about in Portobello Market, There's a shop right next to the Electric Cinema. We decided, me and Nads and the girls decided that I should go back, and me and Nanny Di, if you're still here, we should go back and we should do a little walk and talk, Mum. We should walk around the streets, and I can talk about my fear of homelessness when you were running down the street dragging a suitcase of clothes. Because there were kind of bad times and good times. I remember walking past the Barclays Bank on Ladbroke Grove, seeing someone nick a woman's purse, and then at the age of 9, running after him. What the hell was I going to do? I thought I was in like Starsky and Hutch or something. Yeah. Anyway, so whenever Nadia's away, I have a quadruple espresso. Yes. So, what shall we? Let's have a little thing. Hang on, let's have a look. Would your other 2 daughters go on vlogs, Mark? No, Izzy used to a while back, and then they both live in Bristol. Fleur has never really been involved with the vloggy side of things. Izzy was a bit. And I just think, even with Maddie and Kiki, we like to keep it totally optional, and we always ask them if they're up for it. So like we went out to the Andy Warhol the other day, and they wanted to be in that. They like being around the silly stuff around, Nanny Di and all that kind of stuff. Totally their choice. This is not about putting them in stuff if they don't want to. Hit the thumbs up, guys. Hit the thumbs up. Nanny Di, we love you. And everyone loves you, Nanny Di. So there we go. First time I've got live for a while too. How are you, Mark Josephine Bailey? I'm all right, actually. I'm all right today. I did post a thing on my Instagram, Mark_Adderley, talking about how normally at this time on a Friday morning, when I was a drinker, I would have been, rationalising, planning, everything, right down to getting through my work day, getting to an early lunch, which is what most people do, isn't it, on a Friday? Let's get to an early lunch, head out in Soho, be outside one of those brilliant pubs, the Nellie Dean, the Crown and Two Chairmen, and just slowly get sozzled into the evening, sort of get a little bit more sober, have something to eat, and then double down on the sozzling. Yeah. Jade Louisa, I'm hopefully going to the cinema in Canterbury soon. I went to university in Canterbury. I love Canterbury. Westgate. I used to live on Pound Lane, immediately to the left as you come through Westgate. Mars Kid, vodka, spelt with a C, fantastic. How is Teddy? Teddy is much, much better. Much better. Oh, is it Misty down in Penzance? Oh, Dawny Harvey. It's not caught many lives recently, sadly. How are you, Mark? I'm all right, darling. How are you? Drop us a line. Behind the curtain, so to speak. Hannah Moore, I'm hungover and at the gym. But at least you're at the gym. As long as you're not chasing away the hangover in order to have another one. That's all right. Look. Get drunk. If you can get drunk occasionally, you get a hangover. It's the price you pay for having a good time. How hot is it there? It's not as hot as I thought it was going to be. It's not. It's just not. It's not. But what coping strategies do you have for coping with the heat? I don't have any. I open windows and then I regret it. That's my only coping. I'm just going to have a sip of this. Fill me in. Anne-Marie Franklin, Mark, what do you think about Denise Walsh going to Malta with the girls, but you can't release your Cornwall vlogs? Is it comparable? Maybe it is. I saw the photos and I thought, oh, look, they're having a lovely time. But I guess you're right, I guess. But to each person, are the others want to, I don't know how it works. Here's the thing, I'm not interested in naming or shaming anyone else. We just felt it was right at the time not to be promoting something, that's all. But Jesus, you're going to see the vlogs, and when you see the vlogs, there's some fun to be had. Release the Cornwall vlogs, Claire Ross Reed. Love your ickle cup, Jackie Vellino. This comes from Margate. Isn't it cool? I love it. Sometimes I just throw it across the room because I just want to see it a little bit more smashed up. Cool showers, eat ice cream, that's good. Gabrielle, well, the reason I popped the Ellen DeGeneres story rumbling in the headline is only because I went on the news and her face popped up several times. And then I went down a bit of a wormhole. And has anyone seen her interaction with Dakota Johnson? Who I've got a bit of time for, actually. I wasn't a big fan necessarily of, is it 50 Shades? But she was promoting, I think, the Shia LaBeouf movie, The Peanut Butter Falcon. Great little movie, check it out, one of Kiki's favourites of last year. And there was just a bit of an exchange where I saw a bit of flint. I saw the flint in Ellen's eyes. And I think I've told the story many times where we were nearly run over by her in the Warner Brothers lot. And I thought it was just like an accident, but maybe she drove at us. Maybe she saw Brits and thought, thud it. Yeah, so I'm not interested in necessarily fanning it, but it's intriguing that the story isn't going away. And, you know, her ratings are plummeting, and there's not I think Jay Leno came out in her defense. But I think they've done an internal inquiry, haven't they? And Warner Brothers have issued a letter to all staff, and they're gonna ensure that they kind of, you know, weed out the unkind people. Andrea Crash, evening back to New Zealand. So yeah. I mean, the thing about Ellen is she's not such a big thing of it. It's a shame, well, it's not a shame because we don't know what's happened. But I mean, the point is that one of my high points of celebrity sort of stuff was the Oscar ceremony when they did that great big selfie. But interestingly, has anyone heard that there is a new Jeffrey? Is it Jeffrey? Jeffrey? It is Jeffrey Epstein. There's a new Epstein documentary landing on Lifetime on Sunday. Yes, Nadia is at Loose, who can play at that. Susie Ottman. Is that better? There's a new Jeffrey Epstein documentary on Sunday on Lifetime. And I'm intrigued. Apparently it's going to have yet more sort of nuggets of information coming out. We are going to watch the new documentary, and I think we're probably going to respond to it. But I haven't finished the first documentary series on Epstein on Netflix, just because I found it all sort of, I don't mean one doesn't want to think about it, but I kind of knew what I was going to get. It didn't really tell me anything new. So I'm kind of hoping that this documentary gives us something tangible and something new. Sarah Elliott, loving Ozark, don't want it to end. I know. Well, fortunately, you've got 2 more series of that coming. It's an absolute treat, isn't it? It's an absolute treat. And Jason Bateman is just... Oh, I don't know. Sometimes I wish I could drive off a cliff with Jason Bateman, like in Thelma and Louise. Do you know what I mean? It'd be short-lived, and we'd have to have a very, very quick conversation because we'd be about to hit the earth really rapidly. But here's a story that I thought was really funny. The reason I popped Trump in there, now, Donald Trump, oh, there he goes again. That's why we stopped the garden lives. It's my bête noir at the moment. Trump. He's been entertaining us a hell of a lot. I mean, I know we shouldn't because he's almost... Well, I think the reason he's entertaining me more benignly at the moment is it looks like his popularity is waning. There's a couple of stories in the press about Kanye West's candidacy potentially splitting the vote, and I couldn't work out from the report I was reading whether they were suggesting it would favour Trump or not. I suppose it might. I'm not entirely sure. But Trump mispronounces Thailand and calls it Thailand. I want a Trump... I've got a George W. Bush doll in there where you press a button and all of his ridiculous quotes come out. I want one. I want one with Trump's sayings. Do you know what I mean? It would favour Trump, Mel W. Is that what they're saying? Oh, Observant Annie, I'm loving the new Twilight Zone show with Jordan Peele. Where's that on? I want to watch it. Is that the... Hang on, that's not the Lovecraft's Country one, is it? I have done my workout, that's why I'm soaking wet on the top. So is his... Helen Fatherly, that's very funny. So is his name Thump? Very good. Trump's misspellings are codes, Ruth. God, that sounds a bit sinister. Codes for what? Codes for what? It is what it says, Trump, Thump. Just had the Wasp Man come, has got Wasp Nest. Ooh, Louise Jones, not nice. Claire Ross Reed, you started watching The Walking Dead. Me and Maddie worked our way through The Walking Dead. Lovely Judy Phillips. I don't know where you are, Judy, if you're here at all. We were really into it for a while, and then I don't know. I found it got a little bit predictable until Negan. Is it Negan? Is that his name? Come into it. That was good. TikTok looks like TikTok's gone in America. Is that going to affect you? Do any of you use TikTok? And also, Instagram has just released a new thing, haven't they? Reels. which looks potentially fun. I'm trying to get my head around it so I can do I'm always looking for an outlet for total stupidity. I'm just having a little scroll down. I just saw some news about there being a movie of Knight Rider. Do you remember Knight? Ding, 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 ding. See, the thing is, I didn't like Knight Rider when it was out. Well, I mean, I watched it, but it was... There wasn't an awareness in the 80s that things were naff when they were naff. But we just had to go with it because it was all there was. So James Wan is to produce a new Knight Rider film. We'll have to pop something about this on the old Popcorn Junkies Instagram, won't we? I wonder if old Hasselhoff will be in there. He's become a bit of a cult sort of hero, hasn't he, David Hasselhoff? Didn't he end up on these sort of talent shows? Kit the Car, that's it. Who did the voice? That was so good, wasn't it? The voice. 80s raw Kimberly Bunn. They do, but at the time they felt shit. I genuinely remember thinking, this is shit. I really did. I remember thinking, that's shit. The 18, that's shit. But I'll watch it. And now we're nostalgic for shit. In a good way, I just thought, like Dallas. Yeah, I mean, have you seen the opening credits for Dallas? I mean, I get it. It's retro, it's camp, it's kind of cool. And it's become cool. But it's shit. I mean, things that I remember from the 80s that I really liked are things like, was the Breakfast Club in the 80s? It's all the John Waters movies. I love, do you remember, I mean, I know they're politically incorrect as hell now, but do you remember things like Weird Science? Do you remember that? Didn't that star Robert Downey Jr. in one of his first parts? See, Duran Duran. I mean, I know, again, classic, absolutely classic, hair on the yacht and all that, but shit. But classic because it was shit. Do you know what I mean? It's so, a whole decade's become cool because it was shit. Whereas the 60s and the 70s were kind of cool when they were happening. I think. Adamant, I had my first sort of, I don't know, male crush. I really fancied Adamant. It was really odd when I was a boy. I used to get soap and put it across my face and get spots. Back to the Future was cool, and it was cool at the time, but then Back to the Future 2 was shit. Wasn't it? I loved how in the 18 they could shoot a gazillion bullets. Oh my God, Grange Hill. I used to love Grange Hill. Me and a friend, Edwin Selby, we jumped on the Central Line when I was about 8. And we headed off to, if you look on the Central Line, there's a place called Grange Hill. And we headed there with a ticket for 7p, when the tickets used to be little rectangular and yellow. Nanny died, back in the day, Nanny died, didn't know where the hell we'd gone. And we headed off to Grange Hill. Got off at Grange Hill and asked the ticket guy at the station, we said, where's the school? He said, what school? I said, the school on the telly. And he said, there's no school, it's made up. And I was like, you're fucking joking. Anyway, so we got back on the train, and then these two people who had dogs and bags full of chocolate said, come to Epping Forest with us. This is true. And so we went to Epping Forest with these two people, I mean, with bags of chocolate and two dogs. And like a scene from Hansel and Gretel, they kept calling us into the woods, and we kept walking further and further into the woods. And I turned to Edwin at one point, and I said, I don't think this is right. And we turned and we ran. And the dogs chased us. We don't know what could have ended up in that. Yeah. Dark, isn't it? When I got home, it must have been about 9. It was dark. Must have been about 9 or 10. Must have been the summer as well. And my mum must have been worried because she opened the front door and she slapped me round the head so hard. Do you remember, Mum? You hit me so hard. I remember. I tell you what, though, I never got on a train and went with strangers again. Jesus Christ. This was back in the day when it was in the 70s. You were allowed to hit your kids like that. And, oh my God. Yeah. That was dark and twisted. I told the girls that the other day thinking it was nothing, and they were like, Jesus Christ, Dad. You could have been, like, it was all sorts of terrible things. Anyway, yeah, I often think about that. It's weird, isn't it? Moonlighting. Oh my God, do you remember that with Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd? That wasn't shit. You're right. This is good. You're come on, sell me how good give me Beverly Hills Cop. you remember Harold Faltermeyer's soundtrack, Axel F? Ding, 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 ding. Ding, 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 ding. It didn't robot dancing happen in the 80s? I mean, that was shit as well, wasn't it? I mean, that's only good if it's really fast. Really, really fast. I mean, that's so fast. It's shit. Starsky and Hutch. Was that 80s? That was more 70s, wasn't it? I mean, big shoulder pads and puffy hair. I mean, puffy as in poofy. Yeah, I mean, what's that about? Knots Landing. God, do you remember that? My nan loved that. Minder. Do 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 do. Sung, wasn't the theme tune sung by Dennis Waterman? He was like, Dennis Waterman was like our suburban version of the blonde one in Starsky and Hutch, wasn't he? Dempsey and Makepeace. Oh my God. Funny story with that was Glynis Barber used to be a friend of my mum's. And when we lived in our flat in Blenheim Crescent, Glynis Barber used to stay with us. And I used to wake up in the night with my teddy bear, wandering. And I remember pummeling her head with a teddy bear one night. She was very lovely. It was her and I think she was married to her husband, Paul. Yeah, no, I knew Glynis quite well. Well, I didn't know Glynis. My mum knew Glynis quite well. What am I talking about? But she was in our family. The Goodies. Goodies. Goody, goody. Come on, thumbs up, guys, for 80s. I'm knowing these theme tunes off by heart. Rosemary and Thyme. What was that? Was that another... Who remembers Blake 7? Do you remember Blake 7? I think Nadia's dad was in that. And wasn't that the one where they had sort of strange, like, peppers on their heads? Like black peppers. The Flumps, the Goonies. I was a big fan. I had this strange split between sort of London stuff that my mum would put on telly. And then down at my nan's, my nan and granddad kind of introduced me to Morecambe and Wise. Sorry, just checking it wasn't the feds just pulling up at the door. Morecambe and Wise, I loved Eric Morecambe. Ronnie Barker, the two Ronnies, used to love that. Porridge, all those things were so, so good. And so it was that sort of two things, but for me that's more 70s than 80s. Tenko! Oh my God, you remember Tenko? My nan loved that. Oh my God. Bagpuss, I remember I used to watch that whilst eating minestrone soup, sat at my granddad's feet. I used to do this terrible thing when my granddad was asleep. I love my granddad very, very much. But you know when you're a child and you're trying to test boundaries? So he'd fall asleep. And I was like, the person I was most devoted to was my granddad because he had heart attacks and I loved him so much. But I did this strange thing when he was asleep, where when he was asleep, I'd go up to his head and I'd do that. And then I'd take myself into the garden and I'd punch myself because I thought I'd done the most awful thing. What's that about? What was that about? Airwolf, what the hell's that? Only Fools and Horses, lovely. Biker Grove, oh my God. Tommy Cooper, loved him. Loved him. Tales of... Ding, 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 ding. Elaine Stubbs. Ooh, ooh. What's that? Tales of the Unexpected. I remember seeing an episode of Tales of the Unexpected. Again, my granddad was fast asleep having his lunchtime nap. And I think it was on in the afternoon. And I remember being sort of, mesmerised by the dancing women in the fireplace. I was thinking, whoa, not knowing why I was going, whoa, because I was too young. And I remember seeing one where a woman, does anyone remember this Tales of the Unexpected? Dukes of Hazzard! Oh my God, that was shit. But it was good. What was the name of the girl in it? Dukes of Hazzard. Anyway, there was a Tales of the Unexpected where there was a woman who would go to the park, meet men, bring them home, obviously have sex with them, in a bed that had headboards or footboards with huge feet, like the ice cream's funny feet. And then she'd kill him with a leg of lamb and then eat the lamb. And so she ate the evidence. And I remember that film made me scared of having a relationship when I was older. I was petrified of having a relationship, thinking, what if I meet a woman who kills me? And because my mum was an ardent feminist and we had lots of stuff on the walls at home saying men are evil, I was like, oh my God, all women want to kill men. This is frightening. Yeah. 3, 2, 1. Do you remember? We'd all do it in school, wouldn't we? 3, 2, 1. And there'd always be some smart ass who'd go, yeah, I can do it. Yeah, well, so, but they wouldn't do it. They weren't doing it. And I'd say to them, do it in slow-mo. And they'd go, and they couldn't do it. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Can you do it? Do you remember the Incredible? Yeah, the Incredible Hulk. You won't like me when I'm angry. Oh my God, Tiswas. Do you remember the grown-up version of Tiswas that was on late at night called OTT? And it was literally Tiswas in a studio with topless women running around, or women with tight t-shirts on. Do you remember that? Bullseye! Oh my God. In 1. In 2. Oh my God. You could smell the nicotine when you watched Bullseye, couldn't you? I mean, you could smell the pub smoke. It was so authentic. It was so lacking in frills. Surprise, surprise. That was much more my nans and play your cards right. Brucey bonus. Don't get nothing for a pair in this game. Yes. Man from Atlantis. Was that the one with the guy who played Bobby Ewing? And he had webbed fingers. And it was so... Who remembers V? Do you remember V? That show where they all pulled their skin off and they turned into lizards. My nan was so excited about that. I mean, my nan, she's not even into aliens. Yeah, Just Good Friends. Oh my God, Amber Grindley, Just Good Friends. And F is like a butterfly. I see, I love butterflies. And that sort of straddled the suburban safety of my nan and granddad and the feminist agitprop madness, socialist worker of my mum's life. For some reason, butterflies. That was seen as a sort of, that was kind of like a place in the middle. He had a crush on Patrick Duffy. I don't know, Patrick Duffy was strangely like Bill Clinton in a weird way. Georgia Mildred, Citizen Smith. Yeah, To the Manor Born. Oh, I love these little 80s nostalgia trips. Space 1999, Teddy was in that. Oh no, he wasn't. He was in Battlestar. Oh no, I think he was in Space 1999. Oh my God, suddenly the 80s are really cool and I want to go and watch everything. There's so much good stuff. I liked Robert Palmer. Is he the one that had I'm Addicted to Love? Do you remember that fabulous, fabulous video with the 4 women in the background dancing? I could have watched that on a loop probably for my entire, from 12 to 16. Could have just watched that forever. There you go. It was a little strange. I didn't think we were going to go back down the 80s again. I'm going to have to change the title of the bloody Alive now, aren't I? Mork and Mindy, Nanu Nanu. Is that Nanu Nanu? I think so. That's where we first kind of got Robin Williams, wasn't it? Oh, don't now miss Robin Williams. Oh, that was lovely. Oh, what a lovely thing. Going down memory lane. Magnum with the great big moustache. So here we go. Press Gang. I love Press Gang. I used to run home for Press Gang every day. Loved it. Loved it. Hit the thumbs up, guys. If you haven't joined, join. I will hopefully be editing some vlogs. I feel like I have a quota where when it goes to sort of like in Monsters Inc. when they've got enough scream from a child, it goes do 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 do. I feel like I've just got to do 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 with vlog. Excuse me. So something will be happening. Lovely chat. Crack on. If you have a drinking problem, avoid alcohol. Top tip. It's the simplest in the book. It's what I said to myself. Don't drink alcohol. Just don't do it. So have a lovely day. Stay cool. Don't get hot. And just know that we all love you. And beat the haters by hitting the thumbs up. All right, guys? Because I know for a fact there was nothing about this not to like. It's just silly. Kenny Everett Show. Do you remember how he used to do, did he do Rod Stewart and his bum got bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger? Do you remember that? And he'd start knocking things over. I found Kenny Everett. In fact, Kenny Everett was massively important in the kind of slapstick humour I like. He was just batshit crazy, wasn't he? Batshit crazy. Dave Allen. It keeps on. We're going to have to do a proper 80s nostalgia trip, aren't we? I know I mustn't diss the Dolly, but Dolly wasn't part of it for me, I'm afraid. All right, guys. Love you lots. Love you like jelly tots. And did anyone else, here's a final thought for the day. Did anyone else used to eat Tutti Fruttis? And did anyone else used to shove so many of them in your mouth you couldn't talk and that your jaws ached? And does anyone remember the mint tutti fruities that were green and white? These are the important questions. You need to interrogate them. I want someone to find a photograph of the mint tutti fruities online and send it to my Instagram. Do it now, please. Mark_Adderley.